two compacts each bring their very own flair to the road. The Honda Civic and the Ford Focus. Our test driver, Willy Wonder, says the Honda's design strikes him as a bit flashy, while the Ford's look is more conservative. Willy's going to start with the Ford. He finds the key on the dashboard and suddenly has a problem. That's something Willy hasn't seen before. This is the second generation Ford Focus. It was originally introduced in 2004 and facelifted in 2008. The model Willy is driving has a 2-litre engine producing 107 kilowatts. It's a solid, well-made car that does everything it's supposed to. Willy says the car rides well. The steering feels direct and conveys a good feeling for the road. One complaint, the long shifter throws when changing gears. But just as important as technical factors are the impressions a car's looks make, from the outside and on the inside, which is what the driver will see most. Willy doesn't much like the Ford's interior. He's especially irritated by the aluminium touches, which he thinks are supposed to look elegant, but in his eyes just don't. A matter of taste, perhaps, but in this case, Ford's good intentions have missed their mark. Despite that, the Focus has made a generally good impression on our test driver. So it's time for Willy to examine the second subject of today's test. And the best way to do that is to take it out for a test drive too. Willy says the Honda's quirky design reminds him of a spaceship. The key's a little more conventional than in the Ford. The Honda also has a starter button, and it's red. This is the 8th generation Civic and has been on sale in Germany since 2006. We're testing the 5-door fastback powered by a 103 kilowatt 1.8 litre gasoline engine. All 3-door and 5-door Civics for European buyers are built in Britain, so in a sense it's not even really a Japanese car. Willy says he likes the way the car handles. It takes curves well. The suspension's a bit stiff, but that gives it a sporty feeling. The transmission is also nice, with a crisp, tight shifting pattern that is a pleasure to use. Plus, Willy noticed that the Honda's transmission has 1 gear more than the Ford. That helps improve fuel efficiency. Honda says the Civic needs an average of 6.7 litres of premium unleaded to cover 100 kilometres. That's 0.4 of a litre less than the Ford. But the Civic has other attributes that Willy likes. The feeling inside the car, for instance. Willy says he feels like Captain Kirk in a different dimension. At least the steering wheel is still where you'd expect it to be. Honda's designers seem to have made it their goal to create an interior that is as different and distinctive as possible. And they've succeeded. The workmanship seems to be just average, but the look is anything but that. The Civic's exterior is also unusual, like some kind of shuttlecraft from a science fiction film. The front door handles are easy enough to find. Not so the rear door handles. The rear windshield may look sleek from outside, but makes it hard to see much from the inside. Compared to all that, the Ford Focus is downright humdrum, even with the design touches that aim to make the car look a little sportier. The door handles are neatly lined up, like they should be. The interior is sensible and practical. And while Willy Wunder may not approve of the trim on the centre console, the workmanship and materials do feel better than in the Honda. But no driver will ever feel like Captain Kirk in the Ford. In summary, the Focus is a good little car that drives well. It has a decent engine, but the 5-speed transmission means average fuel consumption is an unimpressive 7 litres per 100 kilometres. The starting price of €22,550 for the 2-litre gasoline engine is attractive, but doesn't include many extras that drivers typically want. The Civic scores points with its agile handling, though the direct steering may not be to every driver's taste because the car responds immediately to even small steering inputs. The Honda costs 10% more than the Ford, but that price includes attractive standard features like the rear parking sensor, which is a must in this car, and the big glass panoramic roof. And which car did our test driver like best? Willy Wunder says at first he thought he'd prefer the Ford's conservative lines and good workmanship, but he has to admit that the Honda boasts more fun at the wheel and hugs the road better. And maybe he secretly also likes the idea of zooming around in a spaceship, pretending he's Captain Kirk. Hochgurgel in the Austrian Alps. It's no surprise that today's four-wheel drive vehicles can handle the wintry conditions. After Mercedes started building automobiles 125 years ago, it took another 17 years for the first all-wheel drive vehicle to make its debut. The first Mercedes sedan with that function was the E-Class in 1987. Today, the company offers all-wheel drive in 50 different models. Frank Wundrak of Mercedes is driving a new S-Class equipped with the carmaker's 4MATIC system on an off-road course made for SUVs. He says the S-Class is really a luxury touring car, an elegant car for doing business or going to the opera. But as Wundrak demonstrates, it can easily handle this off-road terrain and doesn't even feel like a four-wheel drive vehicle. That's possible thanks to the compact design of the drivetrain. It doesn't encroach on interior space as was often the case in early four-wheel drive vehicles. But the driver does notice a greater sense of security because the car delivers excellent traction in every condition. To demonstrate how it works, Wundrak has put his S-Class on a 20% slope with the front wheels on a surface that offers pretty good traction and the rear wheels on slippery packed snow. A normal rear-wheel drive car would not have a chance of getting up this incline. Mercedes have equipped the car with an intelligent system that completely dispenses with mechanical locks. Instead, the car has sensors that detect when the wheels start to spin. It applies the brakes so that the wheels stop turning and power is directed entirely to the front wheels, which then easily pull the car up the incline. He says it's a simple system that requires no special skills or training from the driver. You just step on the gas pedal. The rear wheels spin briefly, then stop as the front wheels take over and pull the car forward. Weighing just 70 kilograms more than the regular drivetrain, the all-wheel system adds little to the car's weight. Depending on the model, that translates into slightly higher fuel consumption of between 2 and 6/10 of a litre over 100 kilometres. Friction optimization features, modern torque converter technology, high-tech lubricants and the S-Class automatic start-stop feature help save fuel. Now our driver has set up a more difficult test with different surfaces arranged diagonally. The front left wheel and rear right wheel are on surfaces with good traction, while the two other wheels, diagonally across, are on ice. Wundrak says that's a difficult situation for most cars, but not for Mercedes 4MATIC. As soon as the wheels standing on ice start to slip, the 4ETS traction system stops the spinning and redirects the power to the wheels that have grip. The driver doesn't have to do anything but punch the pedal and let the car do the rest.
Auf entsprechend griffigem Untergrund stehen. Man muss dazu eigentlich nichts beachten, man muss nicht lenken oder korrigieren, sondern wir gehen jetzt einfach aufs Vollgas und gucken mal, was passiert.
The wheels on ice spin briefly, but those with traction are also pulling and enable the car to deal with the situation. That helps not only when starting from a stop, it can also provide greater vehicle stability and safety when performing evasive maneuvers. This demonstration simulates that kind of maneuver, where the driver wants to avoid an obstacle like a car in the road. Wundrak shows how even on snow he can floor the gas pedal and still easily guide the big car through the course. The newest member of Mercedes' all-wheel drive family is the CLS, available at first with 4MATIC transmissions in both gasoline and diesel versions. And while four-wheel drive may offer many advantages, it is no substitute for winter tyres and good sense. Even with the most modern technology and tyres, a good driver must adapt to the conditions to make every trip as safe as possible. Audi has been building cars with its legendary Quattro all-wheel drive system since 1980. Now the company is putting Quattro into its smallest car, the new A1. We test drove a prototype in snowy conditions in Canada and can confirm that the all-wheel drive A1 holds a lot of promise. But customers will have to wait a bit longer. It's not expected in showrooms before 2013 at the earliest. Mazda has introduced a new diesel engine for its second-generation Mazda 5 small van. The 1.6-litre turbo diesel produces 4 kilowatts more than the 2-litre unit it replaces and consumes 15% less fuel, or just 5.2 litres for 100 kilometres. Prices for the Mazda 5 with the new engine start at €22,700 in Germany. Every January, Madonna di Campiglio in the Italian Alps provides the stunning backdrop for a rather special event. Ferrari and Ducati host an annual get-together to present the drivers for the new racing season to the media and fans. In the 2011 Formula One season, Felipe Massa and two-time champion Fernando Alonso will again be manning the cockpits for Ferrari. The trip helps the teams to prepare for the new season, but at the same time it's a lot of fun. Out on the piste as well, the drivers show their all-round sporting skills. Fernando Alonso finished second after an exciting and emotional 2010 season. The championship went down to the wire, decided in the very last race.
Looking at the championship in general, at the 2010 year overall has been a great season for me. Finishing second in a world championship is never easy for any driver. Fighting until the last moment, not easy at all. But for me it was more than that. I think I recovered some feelings that I missed in 2008, 2009. Not fighting for the championship was hard. Not fighting for podiums was difficult. In 2010, I didn't lose my self-confidence in a way, but I really wanted 2010 like it was to fully recover my confidence, my driving style, my motivation for fighting for the championship. So 2011 I start in a better way, full of confidence and stronger.
After sundown, the drivers dedicate some of their time to the fans. For all involved, this is arguably the highlight of the day. Some high-flying racing on a frozen lake and featuring some familiar but very special cars. Setting the pace over the ice is Ferrari's car for the 2009 Formula One season, the F60, with veteran Italian Luca Badoer at the wheel. Spiked tyres keep the car on course. Then the stars of the current season show their calibre. Some will have been reminded of their early days, here on probably the world's most unusual go-kart track. Fernando Alonso notches up his first win of the year, but the action continues in a different kind of vehicle, a Fiat 500. Acclimatising to the location, the conditions and the high seat position is certainly no child's play, but Formula One ace Alonso triumphs again, a positive omen for his prospects in the 2011 season.